He trusts the cold truth of steel. In quiet garages and shadowed rooms, he sharpens a promise as much as a blade. This chilling monologue follows a remorseless man as he prepares, watches, and moves among the living with a calm that cuts deeper than panic. The speech builds from obsession to action, and every line is an invitation to feel the slow tightening of control. Lean in if you want to hear what honesty sounds like from the edge. Chapter 1. Steel does not talk. Steel does not promise, and then take the promise back. Steel does not beg for forgiveness or lie like a tired mouth. Steel sits where it is placed, and it does what it must. That is why I prefer it. I have spent hours this morning with the stone, listening to the little shhhhhh as the metal meets the grit. It is a sound that tells the truth, simple, steady, honest. I like the way wood gives. It makes a sound that is clean and quick, a small surrender. Things that are made to be held by hands yield when invited. People are softer. People cough excuses and make faces and call it a mistake. But the blade makes no mistakes. It knows only contact and result. I find that useful. It is useful to me. You can tell yourself any story you want about why you do what you do. You can spin lies into explanations and tuck yourself in with apologies. Steel is not interested in stories. It asks only whether you have the nerve to bring it to what needs bringing. I have that nerve. I have been patient. I have been careful. Chapter 2. There are codes I follow. Not the ones people preach on stages or in books. My codes are quieter. Sharpen. Plan. Watch. Wait. The edge you prepare will not let you down if you do the work in the dark before the world wakes up to its own noise. You think speech ties people together. You think words make us good. Words are a veil. A kind gesture can hide the rot. A promise can cover cowardice. The edge is the truth teller. When steel finds purchase, there is no pretense left. Either the thing moves or it stops. Either it yields or it resists, and then it still yields. That clarity is a kind of mercy. It ends the guessing. I keep lists. Dates circled on calendars, names like pins on a map. They are not random. They are part of the geometry of what I do. Geometry is neat. It makes the messy predictable. Predictability is relief. The blade is the instrument of a plan that has already been rehearsed in my head until every detail fits like a key in a lock. Chapter 3. There are small windows when a world falls asleep. You learn them like someone learns a set of rhythms. The hum of a fridge, the slow tick of a clock, the way a porch light clicks off at a certain hour. You learn to read those beats. You slot yourself into the gaps and move. I move with the patience of a thing that has nowhere to rush. I watch doors. I taste curtains with my eyes. I find the soft places in people's lives, the unguarded corners, and I mark them. Marking is not violence. Marking is careful. It is an observation that says, this place will be mine if I move right. I watch people in the light and in the dark. There is a softness in how they fold themselves up when they think no one watches. That softness is honest. It tells me where to rest my hand. It tells me what I am allowed to take. I do not enjoy confusion, and I do not like loud panic. I prefer schedules and rituals. I prefer the small, reliable sounds that show a life is unprepared for me. Chapter 4. When I enter a house, it is with the same method I used on the stone. There is a rhythm. Close the door. Take the light. Breathe and listen. The moment a room becomes still, decisions sharpen like the metal. The world reduces to a line and an angle and the weight of what is in my hand. People often think violence is noise and fury. They picture a shout, a scuffle, a messy end. They imagine chaos. That will not do. The best action is the action that looks like nothing at all from the outside. A small move, a hand at the shoulder, a step that places destiny in the right place. The rest is consequence, and that does not bother me. I do not need to explain why I do these things. Explanations are cheap. They are for those who love the sound of their own voice. I do not love my voice. I love the clean certainty when metal finds its work. Everything else becomes a footnote. Chapter 5. There is a satisfaction in being accurate. Not pleasure in pain itself. That is for cheap stories, but satisfaction in the alignment. You put the tool in the right place, and the world responds in an honest way. That response is undeniable. It doesn't negotiate or replay old excuses. It is immediate and total. That is why I trust it. I am not cruel for cruelty's sake. Cruelty is often clumsy and loud. I am precise. I take what is needed, and I keep it simple. People are complicated. They hide behind decency and rituals, and that makes them unpredictable if you only look at faces. If you look at routine, at clockwork, at how doors are locked, then you see a life as a set of openings and closings. The blade answers openings. It does not argue with closing. Do you feel the cold when the edge catches? That is where honesty lives. I have learned to listen to that sound. It tells me if I did the work well. It tells me whether planning was enough. There is a satisfaction in finishing a day that ended the way it should have. I keep that satisfaction like a private map. Chapter 6. And now, after all the hours with the stone, after the maps and the lists and the small, careful rehearsals, I stand with the blade at my side, and I think about honesty. People will say things to cope. They will call the police and read statements, and cry into the bright lenses of cameras. They will look for motive and meaning in the wrong places. They will want to name me with their words, and put me into some tidy box. Words are your refuge. Steel is mine. One will bend with sentiment and time. The other will only do its job. That is the difference. One is messy and apologetic. The other is a rule and an end. Listen to me if you like. Take these words as you will. I do not beg for belief. I do not ask for pity. I sharpen because it is honest. I prepare because it is faithful. I move because finally something must be finished. There is no apology here. There never will be. If you ever hear the shhh of stone on metal late at night, and you pause and wonder what it might mean, remember, steel does not lie. It merely confirms what we already know, that the world is full of soft things. Some of us prefer to be instruments of certainty. If you were drawn into this monologue, please subscribe to the channel for more dark narratives. Activate notifications so you don't miss the next release. Give the video a like if you appreciated the tension and craft. Leave a comment with your thoughts. What unsettled you most? Share this video with someone who enjoys true-to-life psychological horror.